Hello.
Dom, dude, what's up? You woke me up, man. What you called me?
I didn't wake you up. I didn't call anybody. You're calling me.
I'm pretty sure your number just came up here. And
My number didn't come up anywhere, I'm sure. I've been here all night.
Dude, if it's 3 a.m, I don't know why the hell you're fucking with me right now.
I have no idea what you're talking
listen,
about.
I can send you a screenshot right now that you called me. Dom called me. It was you.
Well, I see the screenshot, and it does look...
Why are you
authentic.
speaking in an English accent?
What do you mean? This is how I always speak. And by the way, my name is not Dom. Who is that?
Oh, really? So what's your name now?
I'm Gerald.
Gerald?
Yes, Gerald. That's me. I don't know who Dom is, but he's not here, and I didn't call you.
All right, I'm not doing this podcast with you anymore.
What do you mean? What podcast? I don't know what you're talking about. Now it's me, Melanie. Ooh, it's me, Melanie now. I'm split. My consciousness is split into different parts. It's me.
Yeah, you need to get help, dude. You're listening to the Double D's podcast.
I'm Dom.
I'm the respect.
He's got a great set of tits.
I get so angry thinking about this kid.
Because that's what most people are bitching about.
In New York, you know, we like clean out here. You know?
You gotta stop looking at interacting with people online as a cheap date. My father used to drink.
Get the fuck away from me! Hold on!
I come a lot, by the way.
You're good with all the rap stuff.
If you didn't say it, somebody in the comment section would have said it.
It's like how you feel when you're having a paranoid high.
That's a dynamic connection right there. You're listening to Double D's. I'm Dom. I'm the respect. Thank you for listening to another installment of the Double D's podcast. Once again, we'd like to remind you to please hit the like button because it would help and benefit the podcast out so very much. And while you're at it, we would like some bread and water along with some porridge.
Porridge. I used to eat that when I was a fucking kid, okay? And me mum and me dad dropped me off at an orphanage. And that's where I met you, Bruce. When you were a little baby at the fucking orphanage, you piece of shit. I should have thrown you in the goddamn cave with the rest of the bats. I've always thought that a good English accent involves the phrase, innit? You fucked me up the ass, isn't it? You're a faggot, isn't it? That don't make a lick of sense. Also, if you call someone a faggot while you're fucking overseas, across the pond, that means you're calling them a fucking pack of cigarettes.
Come here, you cigarette. Come here, you damn cigarette.
Right, that's the terminology. It's a cigarette is a fag.
Yeah, pass me some fags. Tee-hee, that means gay boy when you're here.
Dude, is porridge soup? Is that another word for soup?
I think it's like cream of wheat. It's like soupy grits. You ever had cream of wheat?
Yes.
Excuse me, is that like slave food? I always thought like grits is like that's what slaves ate, right? Like they got the trappings of like they got
the intestines of the pig.
Yeah, dude, that's where chitlins come from. And I don't really like chitlins, dude. Do they eat that in the DR?
I've never eaten chitlins. I mean, we do eat longanizo, which is intestines, I believe so.
Longanizo. All right. Yeah, so you get the pig's feet, you get the intestines, right? Pig ears, all that shit. Collard greens, for some reason, I don't know how that became the big.
Collard greens are so fucking disgusting.
You out of your?
They're disgusting.
Do you know how many people are like screaming at their phones right now?
Oh, how many? Count them.
Lot.
How many
dude.
are there?
At least like 10,000, dude. 10,000 men are screaming.
Out of the 8 people that listen, the 10,000?
Yes, 10,000 of them. Because they all have 1,000 personalities each. Whoa, call back, baby! Call back!
You did that?
Yeah, but how could they be disgusting, dude? Who is cooking them for you? Some abuelita or something? She doesn't know what she's doing,
dude. I've eaten it in the past, and I don't see the value in it. It's just like spinach.
Did an old black lady cook it for you?
No. Ex-girlfriend did.
See, you're messing around with them abuelitas again, dude. All right, no, for real, dude. You gotta. It's so good, especially when it's unhealthy and at risk of giving you heart disease. You put in some pig's feet in there.
But how do you cook collard greens?
Usually they're steamed. Yeah, they're steamed, like like a really long time with a lot of oily stuff in there. Like not too much. Like maybe some turkey necks, a lot of salt and pepper in there. A lot of people they steam it or boil it.
Still disgusting.
I don't so what's the best leafy veggie for you?
Best leafy veggie? Romaine lettuce.
What? You don't even cook that, dude. You just eat it raw.
I know. Well, it's a veggie.
You'll take
it's a
that,
veggie,
you'll
isn't
take
it?
that over spinach?
I don't love spinach either. I mean, I eat spinach. I would rather eat spinach when it's not cooked. Okay, kale is better.
Wow. You're revealing some stuff about I don't even think I know you anymore, dude.
Yeah, kale is better. Yeah, I prefer kale over.
Kale is really popping right now. Kale is really, and it's funny that you should mention this because I think vegetables are susceptible to like they do have popular phases apparently. Because like kale right now, that's what you put in a drink, right? All those green juice places in New York and all that stuff. Kale is like the basis for most of them, right?
I didn't listen to a word you said because I was so caught up in the fact that you said vegetables and susceptible, and I just thought that that's something that RZA would say. Vegetables are susceptible to tentacles.
Yeah, and that's true rap, right?
He would say that. He would definitely say that.
That's true rap, according to
those
you.
vegetables are susceptible when you put them in the bowl.
Let me ask you
Ancient
this, smart guy.
scrolls.
Let me tell you this. Would you, if you had to right now, listen to only the rap that's out right now, like the whole catalog of
Dude,
everything?
You're gonna give me shit again for this. For this.
No,
ironic
listen. It's
thing.
just a No, it's just a question. Okay.
Okay.
Let me ask a question.
Go for it.
If you could only listen to all the rap that's available right now and all the rap that has come before, okay, or all the rap that's out now and will come, but you will not be able to listen to stuff that happened before.
What would I rather listen to?
Yeah. You know what? Wait. There is a flaw in my system. If I say all the rap that's out right now, that does include everything that's from before, right?
Yeah.
So I'm saying everything that
you might be dumb.
No, listen.
No, I think so.
Listen, everything that's true, but everything that's out now, that includes everything from the past. Okay.
Pre 2010?
No, man. I'll give you right now, dude. I'll give you all the catalog right now and everything before. Or
what would I rather? Okay.
Or only being able to listen to the things from, I'm talking about tomorrow. You will not be able to listen to anything else that's ever come out before, but you will be able to listen to everything in the
future. What kind of a universe is this? Why
it's my universe I just created, okay?
Oh, okay. It's a total irrational universe.
It's not, because everyone else is able to listen to everything else, but you aren't.
I don't care what universe in, just as long as it doesn't include collard greens. I'm fine with it.
You're still able to have sex.
Okay.
But only with abuelitas, only with Hispanic chicks that are older than 40. That's the only thing I have to say.
Those are abuelitas. Okay. What would I rather stick with? I think I'd rather stick with the old music.
You would.
Yeah. Yeah,
Look
because
at you.
it's because it's what I know. It's what I grew up on. I mean, you know, I think most people would say that, right? I mean, I don't think I would look forward to what's to come, because what's to come, there's been so little quality in contrast to the good quality. So I wouldn't trust where it's going. So I wouldn't choose that. And what's going on currently isn't that bad. I mean, I think there's much more quality out there than people would lead you to think, but it's just every day. Hey, look, you just put me on to somebody before we listen to this podcast. Say the person's name again.
XXX Tentacion.
I have no fucking clue who this
That's
kid
Spanish, dude. You should know that.
is. Yeah, no clue who this kid is. But he sounds like a winner. He sounds like a winner. Totally.
Yeah. See, you'd be able to listen to his whole catalog.
Yeah. Right. That last sentence tested positive for sarcasm.
I'm also saying you get to listen to every Kanye and Kendrick album to come, just not the previous ones.
Okay.
Then again, if I have to think back to it, I mean, it's if I'm asking myself this, I'm basically saying I will never be able to listen to any Beach House or Radiohead album that ever came out, only the future stuff, which is a little concerning to me because I love those albums. But I gotta go with the future. I gotta go with the unknown, and to me, it's almost like burning a forest down, right? You do a controlled forest fire so that the new can sprout from what has been destroyed. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's like.
Okay. So you would choose the current.
Yeah, current and not current, but like future only.
Okay. Right. So you could listen to Bad and Bougie Part 3.
Yeah, dude. That's all I want to listen to.
Yeah, sounds good. I'm so enthused. Anyway, this fucking asshole. Did you watch any of the Grammys at all?
I did. I watched mostly the last parts. I watched Chance win. I saw Sturgill Simpson win.
Did you see CeeLo?
Love it. Love you know I love that shit, dude.
Surprised you didn't draw him.
I know. I was thinking about it, and I could hear you in my head being like, "Come on, Rap Run, use this." But I didn't know what I could use it for. Like, what am I supposed to do with it?
You could draw Eddie as CeeLo.
Oh, that'd be pretty funny. I don't think he spoke. Okay, let's talk.
No, he couldn't speak.
What are you talking about?
He couldn't speak in that thing, right? There were no mouth holes, right?
That was his face, right?
No,
wait,
wasn't that a mask?
First, let's tell the people. So CeeLo Green showed up. Excuse me.
I mean, CeeLo Gold, am I right?
Yeah, you're right. CeeLo Gold showed up at the Grammys in what I can only describe as like, it was just an all gold, like gold dust, Goldfinger bodysuit, where he's wearing a robe, and his head is like what is it? Like, I don't know. It looked like
he looked. You know what he looked like? He looked
like Frieza,
like a manatee, which is the dolphin-like creature with the
tusks,
with the bumpy forehead.
Elephant seal. I don't know.
It's not a manatee. Dude, yeah, no, you're right. That's his lip. Yeah, I thought that was a mask.
He can talk. He just. Dude, this is the best shit we've seen in any fashion show since Lady Gaga.
So what do you like about this?
It's
because it's performance art?
Yes, that's what I like. That's why I like it. I will always be on the side of someone doing something different. Pharrell's wizard hat, okay? Lady Gaga in the meat dress. This guy is doing something we've never seen before. It's awesome. He looks like Apocalypse. He looks like Ivan Ooze from Power Rangers. I don't think he said a word to anybody.
No.
I love that too. His name is Gnarly Davidson? What the fuck?
And then he drove off with the middle finger.
Yeah. I mean, do you think he's making a statement?
What could the statement possibly be? I mean,
fuck y'all niggas, I'm gold.
That's it.
Fuck y'all niggas, man.
See, I wonder, okay, is there some sort of a statement about awards? Because he looks like an award.
Maybe. No, honestly,
it's like an Oscar with an eating disorder.
Honestly, I think he was just
craving
you.
attention.
Yeah, he just someone probably put the idea in his ear while he was really, really high. Like, hey man, listen, CeeLo, I gotta tell you, this thing is gonna change your life. All right. Now just let me. We're gonna paint you. We're gonna paint you gold. Have you show up in a gold Cadillac. Don't answer any questions.
Oh, was it a gold Cadillac?
It was. It was a gold. It was an all gold whatever. I think the driver was in gold too.
Trinidad James was the driver.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Trinidad James.
You guys, sorry for the loud music in the other room. My roommate is watching The Office very loudly. Okay. Someone said he looked like one of those gold chocolate candies. I don't know. Do you think this? I mean, he also didn't put out any music this year, and he's not really.
Well, he left early, so this is sort of like when Shia LaBeouf went to the Oscars and he had that "I'm not famous" and a plastic the paper bag over his head.
So it's
the same thing.
I love Shia too, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think we always assume that there's a statement being said here.
Yeah,
there's a statement, and if you were at an art show and all of a sudden a guy walked around with a gold suit like this, what would you think? Obviously, he's doing, within the context of an art show, if he's walking around, then we can all assume, okay, he's doing some form of performance art. He's just walking around and he's being weird. What would you draw as a conclusion when you're in that mode where you're like, what's he doing?
same thing. I'd just be like, this guy just like he's trying something. That's it. Like whenever you see something like this, they're trying something. They're just pushing to see what clicks. But this is, I mean, it's risky, right? It's something silly and it's kind of it's different and it's risky too because no one's done it. If you're doing something that no one's done, this is kind of against what you're always saying about being a slave to the industry. Why can't you just walk around naked? Or because that's illegal, right? But why can't you just walk around wearing gold all the time? Who's stopping you? You know what I mean? Like this is sort of as close as you can get to like childlike creation. Some people think that the way children create art is the most pure way. I don't know that I necessarily. Do I agree with that? I gotta say there is something very pure about the way kids create because they're not concerned about how you're gonna look at it. Like they will show you afterwards because they're proud of it, but they're not really. They're just trying different things, like whatever feels good to them. The way you take the pencil to the paper and just kind of scribble it down, it's the same way. Like you don't attempt to. Like why don't you want to draw now? Did you draw when you were a kid?
Yeah, I think every kid drew.
Right, but I mean, most people don't do it anymore, and I think it's but like, and
You weren't encouraged?
I wasn't.
Oh, you weren't? Okay.
That was, I mean, that's like typical immigrant shit. Like for me growing up, it was like, Dominic does he draws and stuff. That's cool, whatever. You're never gonna make a living from it. That's about it. And like I showed it to anyone, it's like, okay, that's nice, whatever.
Did you see the other getup that he wore?
No, there was another one?
Yeah, there's a black one that he wore. Type in CeeLo black mask. And there's another one that he did. I don't know where he did this, but he's wearing a black suit.
I see it, but I thought it was fake.
Yeah, I thought it was fake too. This is real.
With the lights?
Yeah, with the lights. Look, there's multiple pictures of it. I don't know what the deal with this is.
You know what might be interesting
if he's like if he's trying to turn himself into Deadmau5.
I was just about to say if he's going into his next phase of like, Daft Punk or whatever, like those guys, they wear the helmet. So why? Like, is this any weirder than that? Like,
but you know what? But that's an inviting look, though. Somebody wearing a helmet that lights up the Deadmau5.
Why?
That's inviting. Even to some extent, Doom is inviting too because it's a simple mask. He doesn't look tormented. CeeLo doesn't look inviting.
Real quick, we'll get right back to CeeLo. But I don't think you and I have really talked about MF Doom. I don't think I've ever heard you talk about him.
I've never really given a shit about the MF Doom.
Right, but the thing about Doom, we're talking about MF Doom, right? You said demo. Okay. The thing about him is, you correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like he is at the intersection of lyrical hip-hop and what we have now with all the Lil Yachty's and Uzi Verts and guys doing like impressionistic stuff like Tyler, all of them who are very much into painting a completely different way. Do you know what I'm saying? Like he seems to be right on that cusp.
Why would you feel like that?
Because he's lyrical. Like to me, like he's very much concerned. He doesn't do a lot of. He doesn't ad lib. He does like he can clearly rap. His stuff doesn't really make sense, but he's just like smashing things that rhyme together. And I don't think he's. And he does have a theme of like he's a villain and all that stuff, but there's no social commentary, there's nothing about his background. It's really just things that rhyme and sound good together. So I think that's kind of impressionistic in a way. But it is like he's an older guy and you know his background probably better than I do.
No, I don't. I really don't. I've never MF Doom has never been because I've never been into again, when I was when I really was listening to rap all day, every day, when I was, early 20s, when I was a teenager, lyrics were everything to me. And when I heard MF Doom, I think the first song I heard was a song most people heard, All Caps. Yeah. And I was into it for the instrumentation, but the lyrics didn't call. They didn't call me. It's just like, all right, that's cool. Somebody that I would liken him to is somebody like Jay Zone. I think I've spoken to you about Jay Zone before.
I don't.
Jay Zone.
Is he related to Calzone?
All right, let's let that one marinate.
Everyone calzone in the comments.
J-Zone was unique because I think he did something that Doom did, but I think I like J-Zone better, was he used sound effects to convey something in a story. He didn't always use lyrics. It was something else that he was doing, and it was via his beats, you know? But I don't know, with Doom, I wouldn't be caught dead in an MF Doom show. Fuck all this shit. Look, I'm all about breaking this pretentious feel that hip hop heads have, where there's certain people that get a pass, and it's like, man, if you don't like him, you don't. Look, I wouldn't be caught dead in an MF Doom show because the only people that I'd be standing around is a bunch of goofy looking backpackers.
Hey, chill with what you're saying. Right
goofy
now,
looking backpackers with shorts and Birkenstocks, just like
man.
throwing their hands up awkwardly. It's like, dude, I want no part of this whatsoever. No part of this whatsoever.
You're so wrong, man. And I got the shooters to prove it, man. You better stop what you're saying. Otherwise, I'm going to have to call my shooters out, okay?
Look, my point is that even MF Doom, even his look there's something likable about it. It's not off-putting. If this is going to be CeeLo's thing,
I think it's because he's ugly. I mean, is that why?
Is it because he's ugly? That might be what hurts CeeLo. It's because he's ugly. He should probably wear a mask, not something that's focused on his bone structure. Because he doesn't have any bone structure.
Yeah, he's defining the cheekbones. But listen, man, if this is the introduction, the invitation for people to understand his next phase as a musician, whatever that might be, I think it's a brilliant move. If it's not that, it's kind of stupid.
By the way, he wasn't in a gold Cadillac. Cadillac is black, so you lied.
Black Cadillac. All right, okay,
Yeah.
cool. Whatever.
I wanna have a callback to a great rap line said in a battle by the great Thesaurus. He was battling somebody who was bigger. Might have been Madness, or it could have been Iron Solomon, and he told him, he said, "I'm a flow buster. You look like Bone Crusher, except with bigger bone structure."
I watched that. I remember
I need
that
to tell
one.
somebody that I love that. I love that wordplay. Of course, you hate it. Well, lyrics. What do you mean? What?
So I'm outside of the club, and you think I'm a bitch. Whatever happened to him?
To Thesaurus?
Bone Crusher, man.
Oh, to Bone Crusher. He's a one-hit wonder. That's all.
Damn, dude.
It's all simple.
But he was like 40, right?
He was a little older. Yeah, he was definitely older.
That was huge, man.
So I'm outside of the club and they think I'm a pug.
What is that version that you're singing?
That's
Okay.
Never Scared.
Speaking
Till
of
I
Bone Crusher,
roll outside and open the trunk.
I can imagine Pavarotti singing that.
Oh.
I'm never scared.
Come outside. Yeah, go ahead. What were you saying?
Speaking of bone crushers and people who destroy and are killers, we got to talk about Beyonce.
Yeah.
Beyonce and the Beehive. It's like, okay, here's what it's like. I imagine it's like this. I'm sitting at home, and it's like I'm eating my porridge and all that stuff, and the sky is gray outside. Shit looks like 1940s I don't know, Switzerland or some shit. And I open the blinds and I poke my head out and the Beehive, it's a bunch of women walking around with these giant gold AKs with a bunch of like laser pistols attached to their sides, and they look through the window and they're like, what? And I'm like, I'm sorry, praise Beyonce. That's what it feels like. If you and Beyonce is in her Empress Temple. It's just giant tower. It's like shaped like Tidal, and Jay-Z's at her feet, like, and she is just ruling the kingdom. In the musical sphere, it's gotten to the point where it's like this kind of backwards thing where I don't think people are realizing how. I'm not saying she's not a great musician. Of course she is, but it's like, dude, like they are rabid about like everything she does now is like, and people think they're like Kanye stans and all that stuff, but her fans are like holy shit, dude. It's like Adele spent like her whole speeches talking about Beyonce, and to me it's almost like
didn't she cut it in half or something like that?
Yeah, because she was basically like, I can't accept this album because of Beyonce, which is sure, I understand if you're saying that, but it's like it's also interesting to me because I feel like if she hadn't said that, the Beehive would have eaten her alive, media would have destroyed her, and it's like, okay, pay your dues, pay up. That's what it feels like to me. And Beyonce's standing there, of course, like, okay, she's like, yes, thank you. She's like, I will accept this. That's what it feels like to me. Like, dude, she's like the Pope, man. Yeah. She's a musical Pope, and you gotta kiss that ring, which I would gladly do.
And by kissing the ring, you get praised more. You get praised more by kissing the ring. It's like, you know, it's getting to the point where it's almost like going up on stage and saying none of this would be possible if it wasn't for Beyonce, our Lord and Savior.
Yeah, exactly.
None of this, and everybody applauds. It's like when you go to the Apollo and you don't get booed because you sing about God.
Oh, was that a way?
Oh,
out?
that was. Oh, dude, dude. You could.
What a bunch of sheep we are.
You could start off and be like, my name is Larry Stevenson, and I'm gonna sing an original song. And you know, he's like, the night's the day, and everybody's booing, and then all of a sudden he looks around and he goes, Jesus.
Yeah, you can't boo Jesus, right?
What was that?
You can't boo Jesus. I have a better one.
Jesus. You can't boo Jesus and kids in the Apollo.
I have a better one. All right, everybody. I'm about to perform an original song, all right?
Okay.
First, I smack my bitch, A. Then I smack my kid, A. Then I kill my bitch, A. Then I kill my kid. Hey, man, fuck y'all niggas, man. Hey, man. Hey, fuck. Hey, I love Christ. Hey, I love Christ. Hey, I love. Hey, man, fuck Christ. Fuck that little nigga. I fuck that nigga right on the cross. Oh, hey, no. I love Christ.
All right, this bit's taking too long.
I love Christ.
We get it.
No, I felt like rapping about Christ.
Why was he going up and down? He hated him. He loved him. You got the crowd on your side.
Because I probably have some deep-seated issues against Christ. So Beyonce,
she's making herself out to be a saint. She's turning herself into a saint. This is sickening. I'm pretty sure. Look, there's something in the Bible that I'm sure that you are aware of, but there's something in the Bible that I remember that it's like worshiping false idols.
Yeah, man.
Right. That's what this is. This is worshiping false idols.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of sickening, and it's not just because, you know, it's a Bible thing, but I was talking to somebody. I was hanging out with someone on Valentine's Day, and you know, we were talking about Beyonce, and I made one comment. I said Beyonce and her fucking stupid stomach, just something that you an intelligent person would never even give that the time of day as an important part of what I'm trying to say. And then she was like, why you hating on Beyonce's happiness? Like, what? When she said that to me, I was just like, dude, do you have any idea?
Did she say it exactly like that? Is that what she
yeah, why are you hating on, on her happiness? She
sounds like Cowboy's relative.
That's how she talks. And I was telling her, I was like, man, do you have any idea the amount of praise that will? It's laughable that you think that I could in some way hinder Beyonce's happiness by saying a vague thing like, oh, her stupid stomach. She's like, oh, it's children. It's birth. It's God. Like, oh God, Jesus Christ.
You know what though? Here's the thing, okay? And okay, I'm not going to preface this. People use Beyonce as a surrogate for how they're feeling about life and experiencing life. Because when you insult Beyonce, you're essentially insulting them. I think that's what's happening with the Beehive. It's like, I mean, it's like a majority is like black women, like all the yes queens and all of them, and it's basic like slay queen, yes, all that shit.
Slay
so
bitch.
If Hillary, yes, bitch, you work it, and if Hillary Clinton loses, that means you lose, right? That means you're a failure. People are saying that that's how they perceive it. You're a failure. You're never going to get anywhere. All men think they're better than you. if Beyonce loses, it's like I'm saying all black women suck. I'm saying your relationship will never work. I'm saying your man doesn't love you. This is
some truth to that. Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, man. And the other thing is, like, remember when Jay-Z, like, rumors about him cheating on her or some shit?
Oh, yeah, when she came out with Lemonade. Yeah.
Solange punched him. They all, assimilated that as like, they all accepted that as, like, their own reality. I think Beyonce is, like, dude, she really is kind of like a deity right now, like a demigod. Because, and this is brilliant, man. If you can get people to do this, dude, you know what? I just decided this today. She is as big as Michael Jackson right now. That's as big as you can get. Like, she is the only like, is there anyone bigger?
Anyone bigger than Beyonce? No, I guess not, no.
On the fucking planet, dude. Like,
no.
That level of just, like, people will just drop to the ground and worship wherever she walks. So, the thing is, though, her servants, all right, are basically, you take of her body and you eat it, and by doing that, you're sort of living whenever she lives. Whenever she's pregnant, you feel like you might get pregnant someday. Maybe you've always wanted a kid and you never have one, and you don't have a man yet, and you feel like, oh, she's pregnant with twins now. Did you hear? She's having twins. Blessed be the great mother. And dude, and you mentioned this
so
earlier.
Greater than the rest of us.
Yes, but all the Twitter things of, like, Solange is everything. By the way, I hate that phrasing about someone being everything. What does that even, like, what does that mean? I hate that shit. Like, oh, this is
or it's like if you're eating a brownie, it's like, this brownie's everything right now.
It's like, shut up. I hate, like,
well, it's all part of that yas culture, all that.
Yeah, and I know this is just, like, semantics and all that stuff, but it's also like, ugh. Anyway, so Solange is everything. Beyonce is everything. She's the sun. Solange is the moon. Blessed be this diptych of radiance. I know religion when I see it. Okay, this is another reason why when I go to these protests and stuff, I can't chant, and I have issues holding up signs and stuff. Even though I'm there, it's because I know I have these issues, but, like, I know fanaticism when I see it, and that feeling of, like,
you grew up in fanaticism.
Yeah, that you have to pay. You got to pay to them and worship them, and don't worship any false gods and all that stuff. I know what it feels like. So, but again, back to the thing of just pay attention to how people treat it when you say that you don't like something about Beyonce or anything that is not sucking her dick, because you will see in those moments the anger that you'll see people, like, people don't know, like, okay, if I'm talking about Beach House and I say that I didn't like their last album, it's not a slight on how that person's existence, and it might be, but I'm saying that there's, like, an overwhelming amount of people who are using Beyonce as a, like, I don't know, what's the word, it's like they're like, she is almost a vehicle. Yeah, she's almost like representing you.
She's an idea. She's an idea at this point.
Yeah, and I mean, like, just God forbid you say anything about, like, excuse me, I can imagine, like, what any amount of people would say about me right now. I'm a traitor. I'm whatever. I'm just a cishet black man who's oppressing all women or some shit.
Well, here's what I wanted to ask you. Now, is that empowering to black women to see someone like that, deifying her the way that they are? Is that good because it's an image that they see and it's something that they can strive for, or is it something that disempowers them, if that's the correct term? Does it disempower them because it comes out of comparison? It comes out of, this woman is a superstar. She has 2 kids. She has millions of dollars. She has all of that. Does it disempower people, or does it empower them?
This is a good question, because the other day I was talking to this friend of mine. She's black, and she was like, she was telling me, like, you know how hard it is to be a black woman anyway, and, like, having people always,
Absolutely.
It's always
totally
like
agree.
You're either the angry one, or you're not angry enough, or it's like people are always trying to attach all this perception of what you should or shouldn't be and all that stuff. So it's like, sure, you need imagery, right? I'm not going to take that away from it, but I honestly don't know, man. To me, it seems really religious, but like, and the other thing is like, okay, so your idol is this multi-millionaire, and I could say the same thing about Kanye, but I don't think people are having the same level of religious experience about Kanye. I think, do I think it's empowering? From my perspective, do I think it's empowering? I think there are some issues with it where it's like, damn it, I don't know if a person who's a multimillionaire is the best role model for anyone. Like, I mean, sure, we do it anyway because we're fucking Americans and we worship money in any form it comes in, and like we worship success and money. I think there are, but I'll even say this about my idols aren't millionaires either, but I think I do really admire some people who are millionaires. I think I really wish it was like more individual. I think I wish more people would decide for themselves how they feel about things, and maybe they've decided for themselves that Beyonce is their Lord and Savior. That's cool.
Well, I don't think there's anything wrong with admiring Beyonce because she has money, because I mean we would all agree that Beyonce is an artist. You know, she's an artist, and her money comes as a result of her talent. Beyonce isn't Donald Trump. You know, she's not Mark Cuban.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She isn't a philanthropist, or she isn't like a venture capitalist. She's an artist, and it just so happens that, you know, service is rendered. She has an amazing talent, and she's being compensated for it. So I don't think that the problem is there. The reason why I ask it is because I know that it's really all in how a person takes it. I mean, I guess this is the question of when you see somebody do good, does it inspire you or does it make you feel it scarce? Does it make you feel closed up as if this person is getting to something and they're consuming something that you're never going to get to? And a lot of times I think it's very true when you say the whole thing about it's a motherly issue. I mean, I think that's why that girl said that to me, because it's a thing where obviously she doesn't have a child. It's a thing where it's like, I aspire to someday have a child.
Right.
How could you say that?
So it's about you. So it's like,
right. It's about you. It's not about Beyonce.
You think I'm saying your kid is stupid and why are you pregnant?
Your kid's stupid stomach. You know, so it's intentional what she's doing. I think that's one thing that's bothering me about it, because it's totally intentional. You know, imagery. You know that if you post that picture that you put up on Instagram with the flowers and with that veil over your head, you look like some sort of a saint. There's some religious ties to what you're doing.
Right, because you know what else? You know what else is like, man, these guys, I don't know what they're like. I swear to you, these people are our new gods. And if you guys should check out, okay, like there's, in Neil Gaiman's book, American Gods, he talks about this, right? Fucking listen to me, man. I talked about fucking Big Pun for 20 minutes. All right?
Yo, sure you did.
And I actually didn't, and I would shit on you if we did. In American Gods, one of the theories is that basically the media, internet, and money itself could theoretically be personified into gods, and we worship things. There are new gods. They're like are you worshiping your phone if you're tied down to it? Like,
absolutely you are, yeah.
Yeah, so things like that. So I think people are, look, man, if you separate yourself from this and just look at what's happening, like, dude, there are constantly rituals, sacrifices all around us, all kinds of things. And I'm not talking about like blood sacrifices. People aren't dying for this shit. But I mean, like, you're sacrificing your time. Whenever you retweet a Beyonce picture, that's a ritual, man. Like, I know we think about computers and technology being separate from rituals, but they're not, man. This stuff, when she's wearing these veils and these outfits. Look, man, Sasha Fierce, remember that shit? Mm-hmm. Compare Sasha Fierce to the imagery you see now. And I'm not being Alex Jones right now. I'm being like, I think we can objectively talk about this. The imagery you're seeing now, they have these brilliant people behind them. Beyonce has a panel of advisors who are like, do this. Like, okay, Beyonce's like, okay, I want to have a more regal appearance. She could have easily worn a giant muumuu like Adele. You've never seen Adele wear anything like what Beyonce's wearing. There are messages being pumped to you at all times. And And I'm not even talking about subliminally. These are like artistic choices, but artistic choices do affect how we perceive reality as well, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm saying these people are kind of knowingly turning themselves into deities. They know what they're doing, and there's all kinds of weird shit happening. So it's just strange to me. Where like I've never seen Rihanna attempt anything like this, right? Like Rihanna will just wear like a blouse or some shit like that, but she's not. Beyonce, man, is ascending to some other level of thing.
Is it hurtful?
Man, I think if you're
because you don't know anything about Beyonce, and you never will. Beyonce doesn't have a political message. She has a bumper sticker message that she sort of vaguely points
exactly
to
where she stands.
Every
she does
year,
have a political message.
once or twice a year, she'll make a statement at a concert or at, obviously in her music she teaches empowerment of black women or just empowerment of people just in general, which most great artists do. Obviously Kendrick does the same, J. Cole does the same,
me as well.
Drake does the same with strippers. So everybody has a message of empowerment, but you don't know much about her, and the same with Jay-Z. I mean, that's basically what they do. They protect their bottom line, right?
Wow, you're right.
They'll never be in a situation like what happened to the biggest YouTuber, PewDiePie. They'll never be in a position where they say something that can be perceived as negative towards the public, and they lose all their sponsorships, all their business ventures just fall apart. It never happens. People don't pay enough attention to that. They don't pay enough attention to the idea that you don't know much about Beyonce. You know about her music. Yeah, you know about that, but you don't really know Beyonce. There's not a lot of intimate interviews with Beyonce unless she sits down and has a very a powder puff interview with Oprah Winfrey or with Ellen DeGeneres or something like that, where they ask her just simple questions. They don't, she would never sit down with somebody like
Rogan.
With Charlemagne or Joe Rogan. I mean, that
would be so great though, Charlemagne. But what if some people would say, and I do sort of agree with this. I mean, at best, whatever song isn't like ghostwritten by 20 people, which is probably not many.
Of course.
But like,
right, she doesn't even do the writing, right?
You don't. She's not Kendrick, right? Because Kendrick, it's like you, man. There's no way.
If you found out that Kendrick didn't write his own music, you would feel betrayed.
Honestly, yeah.
Dude, when he was growing out his hair, I love the fact that before he put out To Pimp a Butterfly, I and I'm sure you too, you love the idea of somebody just ascending into madness and just like not cutting their hair anymore. He was just going through this period where it's just like, dude, my hair is what it is right now. I'm creating the Sistine Chapel. Don't interrupt me. If you found out that he did not write his music, you would be like, fuck you.
Yeah, but Kendrick. Oh, okay. Actually, yeah, I'd be concerned.
Maybe that's what CeeLo's doing right now. Maybe he's making his masterpiece.
Dude, I would love it, man. I'm all about that. We talked about this on Double D's. Like
Gnarls Barkley was his masterpiece.
Way back, I never listened to that album.
You ever listen to it? You didn't like it? Did you ever listen to Goody Mob?
No.
No? Okay.
We talked about this on Double D's. Like
rap
probably
he was in back in the day from the South.
I've heard of it.
Big Gip. No?
Okay, damn it. Let me talk. Fuck.
Oh,
okay, so in Double D's 10 or something, I was talking about how I would love it if Justin Bieber took a bunch of acid and then became like ascended to something else, which he never did. He's doing fine in the pop sphere, but he never really broke through. He never had his Strawberry Fields moment where he's just like off his rocker doing amazing, crazy shit. But one thing I do wanted to do, I wanted to do this. We were talking before. You always shit on me for basically liking anything Gambino or John Boyega does, right?
No, not liking everything Gambino. That's not true.
I don't, which I don't. But this is we're mostly joking here. If I have a Beyonce, right, it's probably a group of like. If I have a Beyonce, it's probably some. Okay, I'm gonna give you a panel. All right, it's Kendrick, Gambino, John Boyega, Neil Gaiman, probably. And I'm trying to think of who, like, people who are like infallible for me.
All these corny wave of unassuming black comedians that you love, like Michael Che.
Dude, I don't know what you're.
He's on the higher end. He's on the higher end. Like
great,
he's
man.
okay. He's okay, but he's just. I think it's forced. I think he's too much. It's too. You know what? When somebody resembles a contemporary, two contemporaries right now, I don't like it. He's too much of a cross between Dave Chappelle and Hannibal Buress. It's too much. Just why would I want to hear you when I can hear two people do what you do better?
Dude, you're so weird about this shit.
He sounds just like them. This is the same cadence. Different. No, he's not. It's the same thing. That is your Beyonce, because you're like, no, I see that. I see that as a young black comedian.
Why do I sound British?
He's nerdy. He's nerdy. That's me, dog. Don't say I can't be successful in this business.
No,
dude. I'm telling you, dude. He's horrible.
I love Che.
No, he's not. There's another guy who's horrible. He's not horrible. He's just like
you hate Gerard Carmichael.
There you go, Gerard Carmichael.
I'm okay with that. I've listened to his special and I didn't really get it.
Because, dude, it's just.
I just told you I'm not into it. You're fucking yelling.
There's a market. Listen, there is a market for being a beta black guy. All right.
That is not what Michael Che is at all. Dude.
Okay, maybe Michael Che isn't as much as the beta black guy, but I just mean in his demeanor. See, all these guys. Let me explain this to you perfectly, okay, Snowflake?
Fucking God.
These guys exist because Donald Glover raps. If Donald Glover was a comedian 1,000% of the time, you wouldn't hear about these guys. And I'm not saying that Donald Glover is a comedic genius. I did listen to one of his specials that I liked.
I don't really like his comedy.
I thought his comedy was okay. I think if he developed it more.
I like his sketches more.
Yeah, if he developed it more, I think it would be great. But obviously, you know, just like anything else, stand-up is something that you have to be with constantly in order to be a samurai with it. But obviously, you know, he's multi-talented, so he can juggle everything. But these are people that only exist because of Donald Glover. That sort of sprouts out from this.
Why do you hate on black comics? I swear to God, you shit on black comics.
How do I hate? No.
You
listen,
do, man. Every time I fuck.
No, I don't hate on black comics. No, I hate on this new wave of motherfuckers that you love. Dude, have you seen this Gerard Carmichael skit? No, it's horrible. He sucks. He's fucking terrible.
Dude, I swear to God, you get so mad anytime I bring up a black comedian now. No, who's not Chappelle. I'm telling you, man. It's gonna keep happening too. Watch. I'm gonna call you out every time.
Dude, your boy, what's his face?
Hannibal.
Gerard, no, not Gerard, the other one. Michael Che sounds like Hannibal Buress and Dave Chappelle mashed up together. And that's fine if it was 2030. That would be okay. All right? We would be probably far removed out of Hannibal's prime and whatever it is that Dave's doing now.
Look,
and it's fine. It would be refreshing. It would be refreshing. For example, Dave East is a rapper here in Harlem. I believe Dave East is from Harlem. He signed to Nas, Mass Effect. No, not Mass Effect. Mass Appeal.
Effect. That's a good video game.
Yeah, no, Mass Appeal. Dave East is a East Coast boom bap 90s rapper, and Dave East, much like Joey Badass with 1999, gets praise because there is time that is removed from what you're replicating. If you replicate something that's still going on right now and it's still hot and red, Hannibal Buress saying a fucking joke. Well, what is it, that great joke about a and tell me fucking Michael Che wouldn't say this.
Pickle juice?
No. Do you remember the joke about Hannibal Buress talking that he was talking to a guy in Brooklyn with a handlebar mustache?
Yeah, Kazoo.
Yeah, he's like, I'm talking to
motherfucker. Yeah.
I'm talking to a guy with a handlebar mustache, and he, dude, when you have a handlebar mustache, you can't just act like you don't have one. We have to have a conversation about it. Like,
yeah.
That Gerard Carmichael wouldn't say that. You're like, dude, we wouldn't have a conversation about it. He shrugged his shoulders, just like Chappelle would. Yeah, we gotta have a conversation about it, dude. I mean, it's weird. It's weird, dude. It's weird. It's the same thing. It's cut from the same cloth. You're a carbon copy, and you do it well because just like Carlos Mencia would specifically steal jokes. You can
Don't even bring him. Don't bring Mencia into this conversation.
You can listen. You can take cadences. You can replicate cadences until you work your way into your own style, but it's too much. It's too many similarities, man. It's too many. When I heard Hannibal the first time, I was like, this is refreshing. I've never heard someone like
Okay.
And now it's like, okay, now you got these two guys who are kind of like, pa-ching, pa-ching.
Okay, I'm sort of understanding what you're saying. If you think someone is doing what someone else is doing, you don't respect them as much. Is that what you're saying to me?
No. You're always going to sort of recreate something that somebody does. But if you are creating when they are creating, it's distracting and you're just extra noise.
Dude, this is really a thing with you, and it's like I'm still trying to understand it, dude. This comes out of you in so many different forms, and I'm still trying to understand what's happening in his brain. Maybe some of you understand what the Respect is talking about. I'm still trying to figure this shit out because it perplexes me to no end. I cannot figure this shit out.
Let me tell you something. If there was a guy on YouTube,
Bomb's Breastcast.
Yeah, there you go. It's just like you. The guy pretty much does what you do. He kind of speaks the way that you do. You'd be like, fuck this guy.
Of course I would.
Fuck him.
Of course.
So when there's somebody on a fucking comedy stage who sounds like someone and even has some of the same mannerisms. I don't notice it. The only thing that he is missing from Chappelle's act is dropping the mic and purposefully hitting it on his thigh.
Oh, he does that.
Just like Dave always does.
Yeah.
Dave does that intentionally. That's the only thing he's missing.
I love it.
It's great. It's great when Dave does that.
Because he's like he doubles over. Like, it's so good. Fuck.
I'm protecting how great those two are, and I don't like whatever it is that they're doing. And listen, and don't for a second think that people don't think this way. Look at what Chappelle said about Key and Peele. He's been very out about the fact that he said Key and Peele stole his show. Do I feel like that personally? No, I don't. I don't feel like they did. I do think that some of the themes that he used on the Chappelle show are similar, but I think Jordan Peele is almost as talented for a sketch show as Chappelle is. He's almost there. I don't think that
Keegan-Michael
Key, he's great. He's fucking phenomenal. But I think that Jordan Peele's just on another level. He's almost cut off that Chappelle cloth to me.
You know why else, dude? And you know why? Because when we see Get Out and how fucking awesome it's gonna be, he's on that next level shit. All right,
that's right. That's right. He
wrote Get Out.
Yeah.
So that's pretty fucking cool. That's
great,
why.
Man. He's great.
Look, man, we got some questions, man. I'm excited to get into these questions, dude. What do we got?
All right. Give me 1 second here. Entertain these fucks while I find the questions.
Keegan-Michael Key is a weird name, and I won't be able to get over that. That's what I want to talk about. That's what we're going to talk about here on the show. It's your boy Spike, as you guys talk about. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff in the show today. I'm glad you're tuning in. I want to say, first of all,
right, Spike, shut up.
Trump's doing a great job. Okay. You don't tell me to shut up on my show. You're on my show now.
That's right. You voted for Trump, right?
Trump's doing a great job. I asked him to be on his cabinet. He's not going to let me. But that's about it.
What do you feel? What do you feel should be done about Obamacare?
It should be taken away completely.
Okay.
I don't want anyone to have health care.
Okay.
People should just die.
Okay.
Including me, like quick. I hope someone kills me every day. I fucking hate my wife left me. I told you about that, right?
Okay, Izzy Does Life has a question. Not gonna get into Spike and his
Why did you cut him off, dude? He was about to tell you about his wife leaving.
Because Spike is weird, and he's getting weirder by the week now that he's coming out as a Trump supporter.
No, dude, he's over there. He wanted to talk about his wife.
Maybe Spike can exist within this question. Okay, so Izzy Does Life says, I'm trying to read more books. Do you guys have any writers or books that you dig that you could recommend? I don't read that much. You guys know that. Also, if Double D's was a sitcom, what's the premise of the show, and which of the characters would be in it?
You ever read Mein Kampf?
All right.
Fuck is that?
Jesus. You don't know what Mein Kampf is?
No.
That's like Adolf Hitler's biggest book, his bestseller, his banger, that where he wrote his thesis on like how he hates Jews and like the Aryan nation.
Mein Kampf?
Mein Kampf. It's like a really.
Why did you say Aryan nation?
I said Aryan.
Yeah, it sounded like you said Orion. Mein Kampf. Okay.
You never heard of Mein? Okay, yeah.
Never.
I honestly thought you would. Anyway, the point. Would you please?
What is that in German? What is that?
My people, I believe. My blood. My. Would I recommend any authors? I got plenty, man. My top 2 of all time: Stephen King, Neil Gaiman. Horror and fantasy. If I were to recommend any books you know what else? Recently, Octavia Butler, first black female sci-fi writer ever to be published in the U.S. I think pretty much ever. Period. The chick was really good. Yeah. What about you? You got any?
I don't really read many books. I mean, obviously, I've read a few over the years.
I was going to replay that.
Somebody's gonna just take that one little part. I don't read books.
I haven't read.
Well, you know, I've told you guys one of my favorite books is the autobiography is George Carlin.
Oh, did you read Brain Drippings?
No, I didn't read that.
That was good, man.
And several others that I don't want to mention. I don't want to get into it because then Dom's gonna start asking me weird questions. You know,
like what?
My pseudo spiritual.
Tell them, dude.
No, I'm not gonna get into that. All right,
tell them.
No, because you're gonna start fucking making fun of me just like you made fun of me that time.
Because
it's okay. Don't worry about it.
I laughed at you.
What was it?
I'm just a bad. You said you don't read much. I laugh at you every time you say it. Oh my god, I'm a bad friend.
Well, it's okay because I get my information. In other ways other than reading. I mean, that's fine.
Obviously, but it's something about that being said. No, but seriously. If there was one book, I won't laugh, about spirituality that you think is not bullshit.
Okay.
Go ahead, man.
Okay. Off the top of my head, I'll give you The Peaceful Warrior by by Dan Millman. All right.
No, please.
Okay, so this is this movie is this is actually made into a movie later on that involved
Shrek.
You're gonna laugh. You're gonna laugh.
Was it Shrek?
No, Nick Nolte was in the movie.
Oh God.
No, this is a good movie actually. So, not a good movie. It's the book. So the book is basically based on this this kid. He's like, are you still laughing?
No, I'm not.
Okay,
I gave you my words. Let me shut up.
So this kid is he's in college. He's in gymnastics. He's competing for the Olympics, and he's he's in tip-top shape. Seems like his life is going great, but he's depressed. So one day he goes to a gas station. One night, late night, he goes to a gas station and he meets an old man there. And as he's leaving the gas station, the old man is sitting in front of the gas station in a chair. The kid looks forward and he looks back. Like seconds after, he looks back and the man is standing on top of the gas station. So his immediate reaction is, how did you do that? How did you do that? I was just looking at you. How were you just sitting here? And then it starts getting into, very Eastern philosophical themes. Like, the real question is, and, he plays the role of he basically plays the role of his guru, which the purpose of the guru is to show you that you already have all the answers. They just lead you to that eventual conclusion, that you have all the answers, okay. That you don't need them, basically. So yeah, it's an interesting book. I mean, you're gonna.
Is it supernatural? How the fuck did he get on the top of the gas station?
It's allegorical. That's not the right word. It's metaphorical. It's metaphorical. It's the book is about using your mind in different ways, and it's nothing that you would like, Rab Run. Your mind is chaotic. You love the chaos that's in your brain and the spiders.
I will admit
spiders
that
when you smoke weed.
Yeah, pretty much, man. I will admit that, like, I don't know. I was watching something yesterday, and they were talking about, like, don't worry about loving yourself because love is already in you. Like, you already embody this thing. And I gotta admit, like, you're spot on, because I could hear these things, and for some reason it's just never made me calmer, or it's never, like, resonated with me. I don't know what it is about, like, it's weird in that way.
Well, it's a good book. It's not a book that I will say it will change your life. It won't. It's a good read, and it's based on the author's true story. Obviously he embellishes certain things about a man that he met and that he blew at a gas station. It gets complicated.
What? Okay, wait. One last thing about books before we go on to Israel's second part of the question. Have you read The Alchemist?
I've listened to about a portion of the audiobook.
That's reading it. I won't allow you to say that you listen. That's reading it. Okay? I listen to audiobooks all the time.
See, but okay, let me ask you something. You see, how are you into The Alchemist?
I'm not into it.
Oh, you're not.
Never read it.
Okay.
You were ready to slice my fucking
because
head
that would
off.
make no sense at all. Because you being into The Alchemist would totally be against everything that you've ever told me.
Really?
Because you're not into that sort of positive thinking, that affirmation stuff. You're not into the speaking it and it comes because you spoke it. It's seeking you because you're seeking it. You're not into that.
I'm not into Yeah, I feel like
you're not into mysticism. You're not into mysticism.
I kind of am in a way, but I don't like speaking things. Like, I don't think I should have to speak anything to make it happen.
Remember. Okay, here's what I want to clarify with you. And I want to sort of give you some bars.
Okay.
When it's said, when something is spoken, it doesn't literally mean that you speak it with your mouth. When you speak with your intent. You speak with your intent when you do something, and out of the motive for which you're moving. Look, I'm already fucking trying to sound like a fucking philosopher. For which you are moving. Your motives and how you move, that's how you're speaking. If you are at your job and you are working because you want to support a family member who's down on funds, your intent is that you're speaking it that you want to help this person,
So everyone who's a half a man is doing this, right? So you're saying you have to have the realization that you're doing it.
The realization?
I'm saying, like, everything that I've been able to accomplish, work-wise, all my art and stuff, I've had to sacrifice so much to get to where I am, and I talk about this all the time. So you're saying I'm doing it already? I just don't perceive it as.
I think
in the
everybody.
same way.
I think everybody does it. But most people don't acknowledge it. But I think when you don't acknowledge it, when you hit a speed bump, you won't understand it. You won't understand why it happens, because I think what we tend to forget is that you can have negative thoughts attached to something that you want. You can have negative patterns of thinking towards things that you want. Like, everybody wants money. But most people think about money in a counterproductive way. They think about money in terms of not having it. That's how they think about it. They think about their bank account, and they think about how scarce and how fucking depleted it is, and they think that's them thinking about money and worrying about money. That's not you worrying about money. That's you thinking that you don't have money, so what would eventually happen is that you will continue not to get it, because you don't figure out a solution because you're focusing on the problem. You know? It's like that scene in Patch Adams. You remember that? You remember that goofy movie?
I didn't watch it.
He's talking to that mental patient, and he's telling him, look at the, what is it? He's telling Robin Williams to sort of, to open one of his eyes and tell him how many fingers does he has up. I forgot what the fucking thing is, but the point of it, he tells him, if you're looking at the problem, you'll never find the solution. So it's sort of that frame of thinking where if you're not aware of it, if you're not aware how you're thinking about something, not just what you're thinking about, but how you're thinking about it, I think that's very important. I think it's very important. I think it affects people in terms of health. I think it definitely does. I mean, I talk to people all day that they come in and the wording that they use is, I want to work out because I'm fat. Well, you're going to stay fat. You're going to stay fat.
Can you just leave it at that? What do you There's no because. There's no this is the way you're looking at it. You just leave.
You are. You are. Dude. I'll leave you with this. It's a great thing that Tony Robbins often says. Tony Robbins often
Give me money.
Excuse me?
Give me money.
What Tony Robbins often says is that the brain is like a computer. If you ask it a question, if you ask it a stupid question, it's going to give you a stupid answer. It's like, why am I fat? Because you're fat, stupid. You keep asking that question. You keep asking, why haven't I worked out? Why don't I do this? The computer's going to give you the answer to it. It's going to give you, unless you start to ask yourself better questions. If you start to ask yourself better questions, you get better results. I really do think that's true. I think that's true. You may not be aware of it. But I have an interest in it. I have an interest in delving into that. I have an interest in it.
You know what it is? I think, honestly, I think we're at the same temple. We're at the same, like...
You're just interpreting things differently.
Yes, that's what it is. We're, like, if this was some kind of, like, temple, we'd be two monks wearing different colored robes, arguing about how to worship God, but we're both doing it. That's how I perceive it. I have issues with sometimes...
Let's make this really douchey. What's the name of the temple?
Starbucks. I don't know.
Let's douchify this.
It's the temple of greater learning.
Oh, God.
The more you... I have to sniff every time I say it, apparently. The temple of greater being.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so let's get to the second half of Israel.
Okay,
we're probably just going to end answering Israel's. Also, if Double D's was a sitcom, what would be the premise of the show and what characters would be in it?
We would have to live in an apartment.
Okay.
That's every sitcom, right? Like, we're roommates, and one of us has, like, you're gay, and I'm not gay.
Okay, settled. Fine, let's go.
No. Okay.
Who's my love interest? Come on, give me a good love interest.
John Boyega, and I'm jealous, even though I'm not gay.
You're upset about it.
I'm like, man, I wish. No.
You guys over there being all happy, playing with your lifesavers.
Yeah. Oh, okay, but we're in an apartment. You're the spiritual one. I'm the uptight one. It's like Peep Show, right? Peep Show.
It's like Peep Show. Well, look, Peep Show's a little different because you don't have a spiritual person. You have a person who's a slacker, and the other one is he's uptight. But the one thing that they have in common is that they're both unhappy. That's what I love about this show. They both hate themselves. They're both insecure. They have that in common. Their misery is where they bond. I love that fucking
show's stupid. Okay, so we would have neighbors, an assortment of neighbors. Like, Eddie would be the superintendent. Julio is the neighbor who comes in. He's like Tommy. No, wait, what's the guy's name from Martin? Tommy.
Brother Man.
Yeah,
Cole,
he's like Brother Man.
Cole.
Yeah, Cole. So he walks in anytime,
Do you know who
whatever.
Cole and Brother Man is? Wait a minute, you don't know it. You like, yeah, Cole, Brother Man, yeah. Wait,
no, listen, I'm about to school you.
Okay,
nigga. All right, Brother Man is the guy.
Say the black. Let's go with the blackest voice that you can while you're explaining this.
Brother Man, my brother.
Okay.
Is the nigga that don't have no job and homeless. No one knows where the fuck he come from. He always enters through the window. Eats their food. Sometimes you come home, he's just eating whatever, and they're like, "Brother Man, like, what are you doing here?" He's like, "Hey man, I'm just trying to get something to eat, my nigga." That's how he would talk.
He's Kramer.
Right. Yeah. Cole is this stupid. Like he was always in love with Big Shirley. Also, I believe he's Cockroach from Cosby Show.
Yes, he is.
Bodied you, son. Don't ever come for my crown again, dude.
All right. We don't want to get into a Martin thing because then it's not going to end well for you. You have knowledge of Martin. That's fine. That's cool. I get it. But
yo, listen.
Don't get crazy. Don't get crazy.
Hold on. We're gonna settle this right now. Pam or Gina?
Pam.
Wow.
Pam all the way. All the fucking way.
I
love Pam. I love me some Pam. I thought you were going to ask me like a trivia question. I was going to fucking body you.
I'm going to have to go with Gina. Anyway, so Who else? Muplutu is the god I worship to. I go to his church, right? What else? We listen to Spike the Spinner's show.
Muplutu's your boss that you're afraid of.
Muplutu's my
Muplutu's like the
boss.
boss in that dinosaur show. You remember that dinosaurs?
I remember that. I don't remember the boss.
He was terrified of his boss.
Damn.
Yeah. That's Muplutu. Yeah, we listen to the Spike the Spinner show, and he spews his right wing rhetoric.
Trump shit, yeah.
Trump's a good guy, you know.
This Spike is fun. Okay, we have one last one, just really briefly that I wanted to. Or do you want to save that one? Because I really want to take some time to shut that guy out. We're like a minute and 10.
Okay, well, who cares about the time? You got somewhere to go? Come on, see.
In about
Tom doesn't love you like D loves you.
Listen, man.
D's gonna go out for a great run after this, but he's gonna take his time with it. You know what I'm saying?
All right, let's do it.
Okay, so this next question comes from KK from downtown, and he says, what is one piece of technology that you wish existed now, either from your imagination or a movie/show? Also, shout out to the 727th Air Force Squadron. We listen out here in Afghanistan.
I love that. That blows my mind.
That's awesome.
Fucking awesome. Tell your friends that we said hi. I don't know. Fucking stay alive. Don't go crazy.
It's amazing, dude. You know what I
Yeah,
want? KK, you know what I want from you? I want a fucking screenshot.
Yes. Picture of you at your barracks.
From your laptop with
Getting
the
shot
double
at?
hat on.
Yeah, Osama's behind him with a knife.
I just want you in the camouflage just by your laptop, just listening to Double D, just saying, "Hey man, I'm out here."
He's a sniper rifle in battle.
That's amazing, man. Great question, by the way.
You go
And
first.
thanks Israel for the question, of course.
Thank you,
Israel,
Israel.
longtime listener to the podcast, of course. So what would be your piece of technology?
How about you go first? Because I'm thinking of mine.
Okay, first thing that I think about is this. To me, I thought about the scariest thing. And the scariest thing to me is, and it's funny enough, somebody mentioned this last week. Somebody mentioned the show Black Mirror in the comment section. This person obviously hasn't listened to the show.
I got pissed. I commented. I replied them, didn't I? I was like, dude,
if there's one show that people know that we watch on the show, it's Black Mirror. That episode, there's an episode of this show, Black Mirror. I'm not going to try to keep you guys out of the conversation, those of you who haven't seen it. So this is a show where it shows the ugly side of technology. It is a broken screen. It is the Black Mirror that reflects right back on you. It is our ugly selves. It's the ugly parts of our personalities that are intensified by technology. I don't think technology creates it. I think it just accelerates our ugly qualities. You have this episode where apparently human beings have now been able to record memories, and we can share memories with each other.
Yeah.
So to me, that's the scariest thing. And I want to ask you, would you partake in that world? I wouldn't. I wouldn't have a grain. That's what it's called on the show.
Grain, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't wear a grain. I would be grainless. I would be making profiles. 34-year-old Dominican male searching for a grainless female, ages 28 to 35.
I always have to go in the direction of technology. I know this is one of those things, man, where people, especially in my field, always want to like suck vinyl's dick. Shout out to Mike Seatown and Fantano. No,
You
like
suck vinyl's dick.
Yeah, they love vinyl, they love analog, all that
vinyl dick.
stuff. But like, man, I pretty much trust that technology will always. I mean, like, it has the power to make your life better, and very often it makes things more efficient. And I don't want to get left behind on this shit. And I love new technology. I would love to be able to access my memories better. I would use a grain because, I mean, it would. If I have to, I'll fight to try and make sure that it doesn't like ruin my brain. But man, I'm in. I would get one.
Imagine what having a grain would be like if you were in a relationship with somebody. Guys, what we literally mean that happens in this universe is I can show you what happened to me at work, literally, and I can project it onto a TV screen. I can project it and show a room of people. This is what happened from the viewpoint.
By the way, this
bird's eye view.
This isn't theoretical, and I don't think this is fiction because we're gonna have this in 50 years. It's not crazy.
Probably
we have it
sooner.
already. It's already there.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
you follow me on Snapchat and I'm showing you what I'm fucking doing an hour ago. It's already there.
Yeah.
This isn't crazy. So you're already doing it.
You're
Why am I
right.
yelling?
You're right. If you're showing your first person perspective of you walking through the street, like earlier today, I put up a Snapchat of the Dianetics, the Scientology book being advertised on the back of one of the newspapers here, and it's the viewpoint of me. I mean, if you're looking at it, you are technically looking at my memory.
All of this stuff is being recorded right now. There might be some guy listening to this. Fuck, why do I always turn into Alex Jones? There might be some guy listening to this 30 years from now. I don't know, man. I have an archive of DSC shit that goes back like 5 years. So you know what I was fucking doing?
No one's gonna listen to it.
Yes, true, but like 5 years ago, you know what? So we're already recording all this shit. Humans have been doing this since we've been painting on caves. This has been our ultimate goal, which leads to my answer. I'm gonna lean heavily into it. Let's just go fucking nuts and give me the fucking brain chip that allows me to communicate telepathically with people. Because of this. D-Respect and I, our good friends, have barely been in each other's presences for. I think I've spent maybe a total of 2 weeks around him in real life. We spend hours talking with each other. Our brains are connected right now for us to make this stupid show that you're listening to. So our brains are connected, and we're forming this experience that you're listening to, right? I have to use my mouth to communicate whatever words are inside my brain, which D-Respect receives, interprets, and we're bouncing back these ideas. I think mouths and using our hands and typing on keyboards, I think it's inefficient, and I think the most pure form of communication would be telepathic. Would be if I could send imagery, sounds, emotions telepathically to someone else with no filter. I think that's what we're going towards. The idea being, I'm gonna look at someone, and without speaking, I'll tell them in an instant how I feel in that moment, and they get to experience. Like you understand this as a human. Like your thoughts aren't words, and they're not images either, and they're not sounds. It's all of those things. If I could compress a thought into a computer file, if we were to try to do that, it's not like I double click it and then it's a sound or text file. It's a multimedia object. It is the most multimedia object possible. You know what I'm saying?
I stopped listening about like 2 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Fucking maniac. Being held hostage here. This maniac is going on.
I have a gun to his head.
Well, look, I agree with you that keyboards and mice, that's gonna be archaic. Yeah. You know, this is a primitive form of how we communicate with this thing. I mean, I can definitely agree with you in the sense that, I mean, I don't want to take this off into some singularity type shit, but
go ahead.
But there's definitely been times with my shitty computer where I can feel the rhythm of my computer. I know when I click something, I know it's gonna buffer. And there's a feeling that I have when I know the timing. Once you know the timing of your computer, you do have a relation with it. You have a relation. You understand what I'm saying? You know, when I click something, I know there's an unwritten time that's allotted where I know that screen is going to pop up. So I can feel that in a weird way. I can predict it. I can sort of just count it and know when it's going to happen because it's a ritual that I've done thousands of times, and I'm sure you do it thousands of times when you open up Windows in your computer, and you feel that to some degree. So I would agree with you. You know, I would say that, yes, I am doing it, and it is a slow, you know, if you don't think that all this is a slow progression into that, then you are really fooling yourself. You know, in the same sense, you know, like they say, like, you know, people, you know, when you saw an iPad the first time, you're like, I'm not fucking using that shit. I'm not using a
Right.
big ass fucking tablet phone. Most people's phones, if you buy a fucking Android, those things are like half a tablet. Those things are huge.
Right.
And yeah, I think I would have my limit. I think there would be some point that I'd be like, no, I don't want to give this up.
Meanwhile, I'm teleporting and shit.
Yeah,
I teleport to your
there'd be
bitch's
some
house. You
point.
don't even. Like, I just saw your girl, dog.